वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे Paramanandamaadhavam. By the infinite grace of Lord Krishna and Sri Ramakrishna, we are studying the Bhagavadgita. We are in the 16th verse of the second chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita. Last week we have touched upon this very important verse. It is philosophically very important, and also it is one of the rare shlokas in which we will find the essence of the whole Indian philosophy. The theory or the doctrine of the Satkaryavada is what we find here. Because, as I pointed out in the last time, the Semitic religions hold that creation comes out of nothing, and creation will last for some time and it will get destroyed. So there is something like the absolute creation and absolute destruction of the whole universe, and that is absurd. That is absurd because nothing can come out of the nothing, and if something has come out, then there should be something behind it. This idea is called Karya Karana Vada in Sanskrit. Karya means the cause, the Karana means the cause, Karya means the effect. If you have a pot, there should be mud. Mud is the cause, and the Karya, the pot, is the Karya. So if you see the pot, you will always see the mud there. That means the cause has transformed into the effect, and there can be no death for it. The cause, if there is something, it will never get destroyed. The cause will continue in the effect. The mud will continue in the pot. So this is the doctrine of Satkaryavada. There is something which is always there. So in the case of this whole universe, there was something before the creation of this universe. That same thing has transformed into this universe. The Upanishad gives us the idea. Chandogya Upanishad says, Sadeva Somya Idamagravasi. There was only one thing, that is existence, without name, without form. There was only existence was there. That is what is called Sat. And that Sat, what is then creation? Creation is nothing but the modification. The same Sat multiplied. The same Sat Vyakaravani manifested itself into name and form. That is what is called the universe. So this is the theory you will find in the Gita also, but in a more explicit manner and more emphatic manner. And what Krishna says here is, Nasato vidyate bhavaha. Asataha. If there is something which doesn't exist, it cannot have existence at all. Bhava means existence, asat means non-existence. Suppose there is something which is non-existent, it cannot have the existence. That means the theory of the universe coming out of nothing is rejected here. It is unscientific, it is irrational also. So asat means here non-existent. In this case it is not reality. If there is a reality, it will always be there. If it is not a reality, it will never cease, it will never come. It will never come into existence. That is the idea. So asataha na vidyate bhavaha. This is the first idea here. The second idea is abhavaha na vidyate sataha. If there is something which is existing, something is existing, and you cannot have a destruction of the existing thing. So how to understand this? Suppose there is mud. Mud is not destroyed at all. Mud has taken the form of the pot, that's all. When mud gets destroyed, it will go to the form of the mud. The pot is destroyed, it will again take the form of the mud, that's all. It is mud all through this, whether it is in the form of the mud or the pot, mud is the reality. That's why Chandogya Upanishad says, Mruttike Teva Satyam. So for a reality, there can be no cessation of the existence. For unreality, there can be no existence at all. This is the sum and substance of this shloka. So, ubhayorapi drushtaha antaha. Antaha means here conclusion. So, what is anta means? After argument or after manana, deliberation, we come to a conclusion that is called here anta. Anayoho anta. Anayoho means between these two. Anayoho ubhayoho. That is how we have to arrange the words. These two. These two means between reality and the unreality. Sat and the asat. What is existing is reality. What is non-existing is unreality. So between these two, antaha, the conclusion, after having deliberated what is sat, what is asat, what is reality, what is not reality, one has to come to the conclusion. Each one of us cannot come to that right conclusion. Who will come to that right conclusion? Tattvadarshibihi antaha drishtaha. One who has seen the truth. Here tat means Brahman itself, the reality itself, the being a tat. Being a tat, the quality of being the reality is what is called the tattva. One who has realized this, one who has discovered the truth, the real truth, tattvadarshibihi, for those people who have realized this truth, the antaha drushtaha, the conclusion. What is the conclusion? Already the conclusion has been spelled out in the first line itself. The sat will, the reality will never cease to exist, and the asat, unreality, will never come to existence. And this is the idea. As I told you, it is very philosophically very, very important. The next question comes, and our Shankaracharya, we are studying the shlokas in the light of the commentary of Shankaracharya, and Shankara begins this introduction to this shloka. Then about Sat and Asat has been told in the previous shloka, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sahataha. And then what is that Sat reality? What is that which always remains the same? It doesn't change at all. What is that Sat? Tell me about that Sat. If Arjuna asks this question, if we can presume that Arjuna is asking a question, O Lord Krishna, you have told about the difference between Sat and the Asat. Tell me about the Sat that remains unchanged always. Then Krishna answers to this question. Avinashitu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyayasyasya nakaschit kartumarhati. This is the 17th verse of the second chapter. What we have discussed so far is the 16th verse of the second chapter. Here, how to understand this? There is a word called tu. Tu means but in Sanskrit. Why tu is added here? Because tu means it is to distinguish from the asat. So something is there which is not asat. That means sat. To distinguish, to separate this idea from the idea of the asat, the tu word is used. Tu avinashi, because sat is something indestructible. Why it is indestructible? By nature it is indestructible. If you want to destroy something called space, you cannot destroy it. By nature it cannot be destroyed. By nature it cannot have any change. So by nature itself, because avinashi. So tu avinashi. Sat means avinashi. It doesn't change, it doesn't get destroyed. And what is that avinashi? Avinashi is something, a principle called Brahman or Atman in the Upanishad. Yena sarvamidam tatam. The whole universe is pervaded with. Whole universe. So whatever we see is nothing but tat or the sat, the reality. But reality is seen as name and form. The same reality has become forest with trees. The same reality has become the human beings and animals. Every entity is nothing but Brahman or the pure consciousness. That is what is Sat here. But the Nama, Rupa, name and forms come and go. They get destroyed. Name and forms can get destroyed. A human being, his body gets destroyed. An animal, it gets destroyed. A mountain also can get destroyed. But the Sat, the pure existence, that is the essence of this universe, doesn't get destroyed. The whole world is nothing but that Sat. You find the seed of this idea, which we are studying now in the Bhagavadgita, in the Upanishad itself. So we have two beautiful sentences from the Upanishad. One is from the Chandogya Upanishad, another is from the Ishavasya Upanishad. One is the statement, another is sadhana statement. Upasana, we have to do upasana, we have to contemplate. First, what we have to contemplate? Ishavasyamidam sarvam. Often it is wrongly translated as the whole universe is covered by God or the Brahman or the Atman or the consciousness or the ruler. But it is not a wrong translation. Isha Vasyam, we have to cover. It is a sadhana for us. Whatever we see, whatever we experience, that we have to cover with God. Isha means here the ruler God, the Ishvara, who is the creator, who is the Antaryami in everyone's heart. And we have to cover everything with God. In everywhere we have to see God. Whatever we experience, we have to, whatever we hear, whatever we smell, whatever we think, everything should be covered with God. That means it is a Vidya. So in Upanishad, we have several Vidyas. Vidyas means Upasana. Upasana means contemplation, meditation. So here the author of this Upanishad is asking us to contemplate that everything is covered with God. Cover everything. So you have seen a human being, cover a human being with God. That means he is no longer a human being, he is or she is God herself or himself. And if you see an animal, cover with God. No longer the animal is an animal, it is God him itself. So if you see a pot, cover with God. No longer it will remain as a pot, it will be the God itself. So the whole universe you see, all kinds of experience, and the waking state, dream state, and the sushupti, the deep sleep, every kind of experience, cover with God, cover with God. That means everything is the transformation of the consciousness being the underlying principle, reality, that is what is called God. So this is the meaning of the word or the phrase Ishavasyam idam sarvam. You will find in the Ishavasya Upanishad, the name Ishavasya occurs from the very first sentence of that Upanishad, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. That is why the Upanishad is named as Ishavasya Upanishad. Next, we have another statement. Probably one who has covered everything with God, everything with consciousness, everything with Brahman, everything with Atman. The same idea you will find in the Bhagavadgita also. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno Brahmana Hutam, Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samadhina. Suppose I am worshipping, I am doing a yajna, I am doing a sacrifice. Whatever materials used are nothing but Brahman. The fire itself is Brahman. I am offering my ahuti, my offering to the Agni, that is also Brahman. One who is doing yajna, one who is doing sacrifice is also the Brahman. So, it need not be that Brahma karma it is called. Seeing everything as Brahman, doing everything as Brahman, thinking everything as Brahman is what is called the Brahma karma in the Bhagavad Gita. So we have another beautiful phrase in the Chandogya Upanishad, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Khalu, indeed, Idam Sarvam, the whole universe is Brahman. That means whatever we see is but the apparent manifestation into name and form. So I already told you the example. You may be seeing hundreds of parts, but the underlying principle, the essence of each part is the mud. That's why in that case, as Chandogya Upanishad puts it beautifully, Mruttike Teva Satyam. The Mruttika, the mud is alone true. So we may be seeing hundreds and thousands of forms, name and forms in this universe, but the underlying principle is pure consciousness, the pure existence, pure knowledge, and the pure bliss, Satchidananda, or as Taittiriya Upanishad puts, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. And that is the essence. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman. So here, Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. Everything is pervaded by Brahman. Everything is pervaded by the Sat. So, in other words, what pervades everything, what has become everything, that is the reality, that is the Sat. So here, Avinashi tu tad vidhi, know that Avinashi, know the Sat. The Sat word is already used there in the previous verse. Sat and Asat. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satah. Then if you ask the question, what is the Sat? The explanation is in the next verse. That Sat or the reality, know that Sat, know that reality to be that which is indestructible, which cannot be destroyed, because it is that which has become everything. The example we often give is the space, Akasha. It is Akasha. Whatever we see is Akasha. Whatever pervades the whole universe, everything is Akasha. So Akasha cannot be destroyed. So the Atma is that underlying principle in everything, the essence of everything. It is Brahman, it is Ishvara. So with Upadhi, if you take into consideration the word also, then it is called Ishvara. Upadhi, the limiting adjunct. A beautiful example is given in the Vedanta. Suppose you have a pot and there is a space inside. We say there is a space inside the pot. So it is called Ghatakasha. What is the difference between the space within the pot and outside Akasha, outside space? There is nothing. The same space within that. So with Upadhi, there the Upadhi is the pot. In the same way, all our bodies and the mind conglomerations are Upadhis to Atman. We feel Atman inside. The same Atman is everywhere also, in the hearts of all. The Gita puts it, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hruddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. So, the very precise and correct definition of the reality is given here in this shloka. What pervades everything, what has become everything, know it to be vidhi. Vidhi means know it to be tat vidhi. Know it to be that which is indestructible. It is the Sat, which is spoken of in the earlier shloka. And it is na kaschit avyayasya asya vinasham kartumarhati. This is how we have to read. This is avyaya. Avyaya means what? Immutable. And Shankaracharya say there is no decay and there is no growth also. The body has decay. When you become old, you will see your body is losing the strength. One after another will be, you will lose the strength. The body will become weak. We lose the sight. We lose the power of hearing also. Loss of hearing, loss of seeing. We are not able to walk also. That is what is called decay. And also in the young age, when you are a child, you will see the growth. That is called upachaya. Apachaya means decay. So what is that reality? Reality doesn't grow and reality doesn't decline or decay also. And such entity is called avyaya. Vyaya means spending. Vyaya means losing. Na avyaya is the avyaya. That is how we have to understand. Immutable, which doesn't undergo growth and depletion. So, asya avyayasya. So, we have another idea of the Sat. The first idea is it pervades everything. The second idea is indestructible. The third idea is nobody can destroy this reality. Avyayasya asya, it is immutable. Avyayasya asya na kaschit vinasham kartumarhati. Nobody can destroy it because it is immutable. It is just like the space. You cannot destroy the space. So, there are 2-3 ideas Shankaracharya gives here. So, if it has to be destroyed, it should have the very ability, capacity or very characteristic of getting destroyed. So, or somebody has to destroy it, external cause. The internal cause, the very substance has to have the quality of destruction. And Brahman or the reality by its own nature doesn't have the quality of destruction at all. And all other things in this world get destroyed. Pots get destroyed into mud. Or the jewels, if you take it to a jeweler, he will smelt it and you will see the destruction of that jewel. Everything gets destroyed. What is destruction actually? There is no such thing as absolute destruction in Indian philosophy, in Vedanta. Everything goes back to its cause. Where it has come from, it will go back to it. That is what is called destruction. Destruction is only a casual name. There is absolutely no destruction. Why Brahman or Atman cannot be destroyed? Because there are 3 reasons are there. Niravayavatvat. Brahman doesn't have any avayava. What has got the parts, it will reduce to parts. That is what is called destruction. The part has got parts, different avayavas. Then when you break the part, it will reduce to that parts. But Akasha doesn't have any parts. That's why you cannot destroy. So in the case of the Atman or the Brahman, so there is no characteristic in Atman or Brahman through which you can destroy. So Shankaracharya gives a very good example. Devadatta, a person, suppose I have money, I lose money, I feel I am gone, as if lost to me. It is the loss of money, but I feel I have lost because I identify myself with the money. So when Devadatta loses his money, he thinks he has lost himself. In that way, Brahman doesn't get lost because Brahman doesn't have any possession. Brahman is a complete entity. Brahman is everything. There is nothing added to Brahman. You cannot subtract from Brahman, you cannot add to the Brahman. And another reason, beautiful reason Shankaracharya gives is, it is our own Atman. Suppose I want to destroy my own Atman. What is Atman? Shankara, further Shankara says, even the God cannot destroy the Atman because it is the Atma of the God also. What is my Atman? Is the Atman of the God also. How can one destroy oneself? You cannot destroy yourself. I cannot kill myself. Oh, there is a suicide. I can kill myself. No, you cannot kill. What you are killing, what you are destroying is your body mind complex. You cannot destroy yourself. The real nature of yours is indestructible, avinashi. It's a wonderful idea. The advantage of reading these Gita verses, you will find the summary, the very essence, the crux of the whole Upanishadic philosophy. We need not worry about, I have not studied Upanishad, it is their very complex literature and I don't have tools to study it. We need not worry about it all. What you find here is the summary of the whole Upanishad, as we see. Now we come to the next shloka, next verse. Here, Krishna makes a difference between the body-mind complex and the Atman, about which we have discussed so far. Antavanta ime dehaha, nitya suktaha sharirinaha, anashinaha aprameyasya tasmat yudhyasva bharata. So he makes a distinction between Antavanta and Nitya. What is Antavanta? That which has got the end. What is the end? End means the destruction. So there are 6 modifications in our body. Any particle of this word you find. What are they? Jayate. Something is born and it will remain for some time. Asti. And jayate asti. And it will grow. And it will get transformation, modification, viparinamate. Then it will slowly decay and then you will have the destruction. The easiest example is our own body. We are born on such and such a day. We know our date of birth, 5/5/1961, 5/7/89, like that. Where I was born. Who was born? Your body was born, not you. My body was born. Then slowly we continue to exist. That is called asti. Jayate asti. And we grow, vardhate, from child's body to, as we have already seen in the earlier classes, child body to youth body to old age body, and then death. So vardhate. And lot of modifications takes place. Lot of transformation takes place in our body. Much of the transformation are for the worse, not for the good. As we get old and old, the body becomes weak and we eat too much, we don't have exercise and we become fat, we develop belly, all this transformation. Viparinamate. Then slowly with the old age, this body becomes decapitated. We become weak. We become very much depend upon the other. Then vinashyati, body get destroyed. So these are the 6 modifications we have. And the end is the death, end is the destruction. So all these bodies which have the end is called here antavantaha. Those who have the anta or the end is destruction. That doesn't mean body doesn't have other modification. As we already see, body has got birth, origin and existence, asti, for some time. Asti means for some time, 100 years, 120 years maximum. Afterward it has to die. Everybody has to die. Everybody's body has to die. Then vardhate, growth and also some lot of modification, viparinamate. That means the anta here means death for our body. So what is denoted as anta is end is nothing but the death. A death denotes the birth also. We read in this shloka afterwards, after some shlokas, what has been born is bound to die. Jayate, one has got the birth, one has to got the death. One who is dead has to have the birth. So, this is the end. And Shankara gives a beautiful example here. Suppose I see a mirage. You know what is mirage? If you go to the very dry places, even in road you can see, especially in the desert, you will see some water. You are very thirsty and you go in search of the water. You go miles and miles you go, you will never find the water. Then you will realize, oh, it is a mirage, mirage. There will be no water. So we see the water, and after trying much, you will find out that is mirage. Where the water has gone, there was no water at all. There was no water at all. That is the example Shankara gives. That means the thing which has got modification and the death doesn't exist at all. It is not unreal. So deha, this body which has got a birth, janana and the marana, really does not exist at all. It is unreal. It is asat. And what is sat? That which is in the body. Antavantaha ime dehaha uktaha. It has been told. So if you read this shloka, Antavantaha ime dehaha uktaha. It has been told. Who told like this? Who tells like this? Viveki bihi, Shankara adds. One who can discriminate it, discern between what is real and what is non-real, can discriminate and say, oh, all these body-mind complex is unreal because it has got birth and it has got the death also. It has got the beginning and it has got the end. So, the body is called the deha. But there is a dehin. Body is also called sharira. And there is a shariri. The body belongs to someone. Body belongs to someone. Body is not an independent entity. If you have a watch doesn't have an independent entity. It belongs to you. So you have your body, it belongs to someone else. Who are you? Who is the owner of this body? And Krishna says, Sharirinaha. Shariri is the Atman, one who is having Sharira is the Shariri, and Sharira is the body. So Sharira has Antavanta, but Shariri is Nitya. This is the distinction between body and Atman. The body has got beginning and the end, birth and the death, but Shariri, one who is having Sharira, for whom this body belongs to, doesn't have the birth or the death. No beginning, no end. That is what is called here Nitya. So, which is a beautiful verse, we can easily understand. Antavanta ime dehaha sharirinaha nityasya. So, nityatva, the eternity, belongs to one who is the indwelling spirit in the body. But all these bodies have the anta or the death or the end. So, another very interesting thing we have to understand here. What is this? There are many bodies, hundreds and thousands of bodies, animal body, plant body, human body, male body, female body, but the Atman or Shariri is only one. That is a great teaching of the Vedanta. Atman is one, but the dehas are multifarious. You have multiple dehas, hundreds and thousands of shariras, plant sharira. If you go to Swarga, you will have the Deva sharira. Perhaps if you go to the higher lokas, you will have Prajapati sharira, Hiranyagarbha sharira. All are bodies, but the indweller of the body is only one. So the beautiful example given in the Vedanta is, you may have hundreds of pots, but the space within the pot, what we call Ghatakasha, is one and the same. So here, Nityasyoktaha Sharirinaha, Anashinaha Aprameyaha, indestructible. The same idea is repeated here. So here, Vinasha cannot be done by anybody. That is what is told in the previous sloka. But here, Anashinaha word is used. So we have two words for eternity. One is Nitya, another is Anashinaha. Why two words are used? In Sanskrit literature, it is a defect, especially in the scriptures. There should not be repetition of the ideas. So here is the repetition of the idea. Anashin is there, as well as the Nitya is there. And Shankara says there are two kinds of Nitya, two kinds of Nasha. Two kinds of Nasha, or the destruction. A body is there, body get destroyed, it will be cremated, or it will be buried. That is the end of the body. So over. But there is another kind of the destruction. Suppose I am very much ill. That means I have lost something. The same body, I was fat, now I have become lean. I was lean, now I have become fat. That the old body is lost. This is also a kind of destruction. As the famous example is given, the whole earth, some 5,000 years ago, there was forest, full of forest in Bangalore. Bangalore is now an urban area. And after 100 years, 200 years, 400 years, what will become of Bangalore? Bangalore will again become the forest area, perhaps. So Bangalore is there. The area is there, but the urban area is lost. Forest area has come up. Forest area is lost. The urban area has come up. So this is also a kind of destruction. So there are two kinds of destruction, Nasha. In order to eradicate the possibility of both kinds of destruction, Shankara says Krishna has used the two words. One is Anashi, another is Nitya. Anashinaha, Nityasya. So Shariri, the Atman, Nitya, Anashinaha, Anashin. And the third epithet or the qualification of the Atman is Aprameya. So you have to understand the epistemology in Vedanta to understand what is Aprameya. Prameya, I am seeing a pot. I am using my eye. That is perception. Pratyaksha, that is pramana. Through pramana, I am seeing a pot. That is prameya. The knowledge I get is called praman. That means through perception, I am able to see, have the knowledge of the pot. That is the idea of the prameya. But the Atman, how can I see Atman? Upanishad says, Kena kam vijaniyat, Kena kam pashyet. Through what you will be able to see Atman? Who will be able to see Atman? Through what you will be able to see Atman? If you want to see a form, you have the eyes. If you want to hear the sound, you have the ears. But how the Atman can be seen? Through what instrument we can see? What indriya we can use to see the Atman? There is no instrument. Because Atman is ourselves. I am the Atman. I am the knower. How can I knower the knower can be known? Vijnataramare kena vijaniyat. How can knower can be known? I am the knower. How can I know myself? Am I the unknown man? No, I am not unknown. I know myself very well, but I do not know who I am. I think I am the body, I am the mind. So, na prameyasya. You cannot use any kind of instrument, any kind of method to know the Atman. It is indeterminable. That is why the word aprameya is used. Remember, there are three epithets wonderfully used here. This gives the essence of the Upanishad, as I have told you earlier. Nitya, Anashinaha, Aprameya. Then questions come, how can I know the Atman? You need not know the Atman. Atma is self-evident. Since I know the Atman, I myself, I venture into know some other thing. I say, I know the part. If you don't know yourself, how can you know the part? Always the I comes first. Then I know that. It is already done. That means myself is already known. By taking, it is taken for granted, I. That's why Shankara says, Atma is self-evident. Their Atma is not something unknown at all. Everyone knows what is Atman. Because every experience we say, I know, I see, I heard, I am angry, I am hungry, etc., etc. But we do not know something which we have to know. Atma is not the body and mind which is destructible. Atma is something more than that, which is indestructible. As Gita is saying here, it is eternal, nitya, anashin, and the aprameya. So, the Shastra here is not teaching us something which we do not know. We are already that, but we do not know the real nature of Atman. That's all. That is what the Shastra or the Gita and Upanishad is teaching us. So we have wonderful idea in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It says, Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma. What is Brahman? What is Atman? It is pure subjective experience. If you want to have the experience of the external world, you have to use these senses, eyes, ears, etc. Here, to know your own self, you need not have all these things. It is a pure experience, subjective experience, no intermediary at all. Yat sakshat, immediate experience. Aparoksha, it is a direct experience. Brahma, that is Brahma, that is Atma, which is everywhere. So the gist of this Upanishadic idea you will find in the Gita. But the last idea, last point of this sloka is very intriguing. So I am the Atman, I am indestructible. What I have to do now? I will go to the forest and meditate. That's what Arjuna might have been thinking. Krishna immediately says, Tasmat, since Atman is immutable, Atman is eternal, Atman is indestructible, you have to do your duty. There is a contradiction, apparent contradiction. Krishna wants Arjuna to be a jnani, Atma jnani, still he wants him to fight. That means Arjuna has already had the instinct. His nature is to fight the war. Something is obstructing him. Already we have seen in these classes, shoka, moha, the sorrow and delusion have made him to abstain from the war. Only way to remove that shoka, moha is to understand the nature of Atman. Once the shoka and moha is gone, one has to do this duty. Dharma one has to perform. Because Arjuna is not at an Atma Jnani. For Atma Jnani, there is no duty at all. Whatever, he is not bound by any duty, any dharma, adharma, nothing will taint him. But Arjuna has to do the work. Shankara says, here the war is not War is not here is instructed. Because Arjuna is already engaged in war. Something was obstructing him, Shoka and Moha. Arjuna is suffering from ajnana or the ignorance. So Krishna is removing that ajnana, Krishna is removing that Shoka Moha so that Arjuna can engage in war. And also another idea or another alternative meaning is Arjuna is very much endowed with Shoka Moha because he thought Bhishma is a body and the Drona is a body and all other relatives are all bodies. I am going to destroy those bodies. But Arjuna is being shown by Krishna. Krishna is instructing Arjuna, they are not bodies. They are all Atman. You cannot kill them. Nobody is killed. Nobody can be killed. So you have to fight. As a dharma, swadharma, you have to fight. So that is the subject matter of the next shloka. Ya yenam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tauna vijanitaha nayam hanti na hanyate. So Shankara makes a very remarkable statement here. He says, Shoka mohadi samsara karana nivrityartam Gita Shastram. The objective of the Gita Shastra is to remove the Shoka and Moha, the sorrow and delusion. And the sorrow and delusion are the causes of samsara, the transmigration, so that one can reach the highest, the eternity, the immortality, the moksha. That is the objective of this Gita Shastra. This is the reason why Krishna is teaching Atma Vichara to the Arjuna. Now, as an introduction to this sloka, if you think Bhishma and Drona are being killed, that is what is you are thinking, isn't it? That is what is your presumption. It is not true. It is only presumption. I am killing, I am the killer. And Bhishma, Dronas are those who are being killed. Ahameva hanta maya Bhishmadayaha hanyante. That's what Shankara's words. Bhishmas are being, Bhishma, etc., they are being killed by me and I am killing them. This is the buddhi, notion of Arjuna. So you have to give up that. That is the cause of your Shoka and Moha, sorrow and delusion. Then what is reality? What is the fact? Ya enam vetti hantaram. Vetti means vijanati. That means I am the doer of an action called killing. This is the idea. Ya enam. One who thinks I am going to kill a person. This person. Who is that person in this context? Bhishma or Drona or anyone else who is in the battlefield. I am killing such a person. Ya enam hantaram vesti. So this person or myself is the doer, kartru of the action called hanana or killing. So this is only an indicative example, that's all. Hanana Kriya, Krishna is emphasizing here because Krishna is teaching Arjuna, who is in the battlefield. He should do the battle. He should fight with the enemies. That is why the Hanana Kriya or the killing is taken here. It can be applied to any other action. We think, I am the doer. I am the doer of thing. Who is doing? Your mind is doing. If you are thinking, your mind is what is doing, the thinking process. If you are doing some work, it is your body which is doing, not you. If you think you are a killer, then yaschainam manyate hatam. If you think I am being killed, Oh, if Bhishma thinks Arjuna is going to kill me, I am being killed by Arjuna, then Ubhau Tauna Vijanitaha. Both are ignorant. I will again repeat because it is very, very interesting and little bit confusing also. Arjuna is thinking. So imagine the situation here. Arjuna is thinking, I am killing Bhishma. Ya enam vetti hantaram. And Bhishma might have been thinking, I am being killed by Arjuna. So this is the situation. Then Krishna says, Ubhau tauna vijanitaha. Both are ignorant. Both do not know the real nature of Atman. Both do not know the real nature of a human being. A human being is not the body. If you think I am being killed, if you think I am the killer, and both the ideas are entirely wrong. This is what Krishna says. Ubhauti tau na vijanitaha. Why? Because nayam hanti na hanyate. Both of them, Atma doesn't kill. Atma cannot be the doer. The space cannot do anything. It is everywhere. It is omnipresent. It is a principle. It has no tools. It is no action is there in the Atman. So Atman cannot kill. Here I am means Atma. Atma doesn't kill. Atma also doesn't get killed. If you think you are Atma, you are neither killing anyone nor you are being killed by anyone. And the whole thing is just a wrong idea. I am killing someone, I am being killed by someone. Whole thing is a wrong idea. Often we stop here thinking it is all subject to the war and it has nothing to do with our day-to-day activities. It is not true. We have to extend the idea of killing. Killing, Krishna is mentioning because it is the preaching of Bhagavadgita is being held in the battlefield. And Arjuna is supposed to wage the war where killing is a must. That's why killing, the idea of killing is used. Whatever the activities, I am doing this. If you are doing this, who is doing this? If you are Atman, how can you do this? It is your body-mind complex which is doing this. And you are superimposing yourself on that body and mind. And you are thinking, I am body, I am mind. That is why you are thinking you are the doer. Really, you are not the doer. Oh, somebody abuses me, I am being hurt. I am very much hurt. I am angry. I am in sorrow. Who is angry? Who is sorrowful? Perhaps it is mind which is sorrowful. Sorrow, happiness, anger, being hurt are all states of the mind. Since we identify with the mind, we think we are being hurt. We are angry. Why should we identify with which we are not? I am not body. Why I should identify with that body? I am not the mind. Why should I identify with the mind? Then we can understand now the source of all suffering or delusion. Because I am thinking myself as something which I am not. Unless I give up the idea that I am mind, I am body, there will be no end to this misery of samsara. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We take birth again and again, same kinds of experiences. Happiness is followed by sorrow. Sorrow is followed by happiness. Sukha, dukkha, dharma, right and wrong. So all belongs to body and mind. I am like the space in the pot. I am unattached. I have nothing to do with that. This is the Upanishadic teaching. This is what Bhagavad Gita is echoing. In fact, this shloka is the resonance of this mantra in the Kathopanishad. These two shlokas, Yayenam Vetti Hantar, you will find the similar mantra in the Kathopanishad also. So the conclusion is given in the next shloka. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. In fact, it is the penultimate shloka. In the shloka number 21, we will find the conclusion of the teaching of Atma Vichara by Krishna. And this is also very much misunderstood shloka. We have to be very careful in understanding this shloka. Since time is limited, we will concentrate on the very first line. Second line we will study in the next week. Na jayate. What is that Atma? Atma is said to be avikriya. That means no actions there, no activities are there. Atman is not born, Atman doesn't die at all. That idea is, you will find more explicit here. One who thinks we killed the Atman, one who thinks I got killed, Atman is killed, myself is killed, doesn't know. The explanation is given in the next shloka. Because Atma is avikriya, doesn't have any activity. Activity of birth, activity of death, activity of undergoing transformation, modification, nothing is there in the Atman. Then how to understand this? Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nishyat nitya shashvatoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. We have absolutely no time for explanation. I will just give the meaning of the entire shloka. We will discuss in the next class. Va means here and. Va means here and. Na jayate, na mriyate. Atman is not born and Atman doesn't die. Kadachit, at any point of time. Oh, 1,000 years back, Atma was born, getting born and getting die. No. 1,000 years of back, Atma was not born, Atman doesn't die. After 1,000 years also, Atma will never be born and never die. Kadachit Atma na jayate and na mriyate. This is the first idea. Second idea is little intricate. If you are born, then you have to die. That Atman doesn't have. Bhutva na ayam bhutva bhuyaha va na bhavita. Bhutva means taking form, taking birth. Then after taking birth, what will happen? Punaha, again, one has to die. That is the process. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Isn't it? So, jatasya hi dhruvam mrityuhu dhruvam janya mritasya cha. Gita says. If one is born, death is certain. If you die, the birth is certain. Atman doesn't have it. This is the simple meaning. Ajaha, it is unborn. Nityaha, eternal. Shashvataha, permanent. Puranaha, always existing. All these words have to be examined in detail in the next class. So, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. It is body which is going to be destroyed, but not the Atman, which is the indwelling spirit in this body. This is the summary, this is the meaning of this mantra. We will try to understand each word, each idea in the light of the Shankaracharya's commentary in the next week. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.